There are moments in life when something inside you suddenly wakes up, a quiet stirring you've ignored for years, a whisper that grows louder until you can't pretend you don't hear it anymore. Tonight is one of those moments. Something is pulling on your spirit, nudging you, warning you, urging you to pay attention. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Before midnight. There is a sense of urgency that does not come from fear, but from clarity, from the realization that life does not wait, time does not pause, and destiny does not knock twice on the same door with the same force. You can feel it, can't you? That strange mixture of unease and determination. As if something greater than you is trying to break through the noise of your daily routine and remind you why you were born. There are things you've carried in silence, battles no one knows you're fighting, wounds no one sees but God does, and He has been trying to reach you in ways you've ignored because you thought it was just your imagination. But it wasn't. Every time you felt unrest, every time your heart tightened for no reason, every time you sensed something changing around you even when nothing obvious had changed, that was not anxiety, it was alignment. It was preparation. It was God adjusting the path beneath your feet so you don't continue walking toward things that were slowly destroying you. You've been asking for signs, and the truth is, you've been receiving them for longer than you realize. You just didn't want to accept them because accepting them meant admitting you needed to let go of things you were scared to release. But now life is pushing you to see what you refuse to see. You cannot step into the future while clinging to what's bleeding you dry. You cannot hold the weight of your calling with hands full of yesterday. And God is warning you because He knows you've reached a point where one more delay, one more compromise, one more moment of pretending you're okay when you're not, could cost you more than you think. This is why you're reading this right now. This is why your chest feels heavy, why your spirit feels awake, why your intuition feels louder than usual. Something is shifting around you, something is rising inside you. You're standing in a doorway between what has been and what could be, and tonight matters. Not because something bad will happen if you don't listen, but because something life-altering can happen if you do. God is reminding you of your strength, your purpose, your light, your responsibility to yourself and to those who love you. Share this with your family because they need the reminder too. They need to hear that life is fragile but futures are powerful, that mistakes are not the end but turning points, that fear loses its voice the moment you decide to speak from your truth. Someone in your family is struggling silently. Someone is close to giving up on themselves. Someone is pretending to be strong while crumbling inside. Someone is waiting for a sign that they are not alone, not forgotten, not hopeless. And you sharing this may be the message that keeps them standing, the reminder that pulls them back from their breaking point. People don't always say when they're hurting. They bury it. They swallow it. They smile through it. So when God says, share this before midnight, it isn't superstition, it's compassion. It's awareness. It's obedience to the gentle nudge inside you that says someone you love needs hope right now. They need faith right now. They need reassurance that tomorrow can still be beautiful even if today feels unbearable. And you, yes, you, are the bridge between what they feel and what they need to hear. Maybe you think you're not the strongest in your family. Maybe you think you're not the leader, not the guide, not the one others look to. But you're wrong. Strength isn't always loud. Leadership isn't always obvious. Sometimes the quietest heart carries the loudest wisdom. Sometimes the one who feels the most broken is the one chosen to help others heal. Sometimes the one who doubts themselves the most is the one God uses the greatest. And that's you. You've survived things you never talk about. You've healed wounds no one helped you bandage. You've walked through storms and came out carrying sunshine you didn't even realize you had. You don't give yourself enough credit. You don't recognize the light you carry. You don't see how many people draw strength from simply knowing you. But God does. He sees you. He's been watching every tear, every night you went to bed exhausted, every morning you forced yourself to get back up even when you didn't feel like you could. He knows how much you've given, how much you've endured, how much you've grown. And He's telling you, not for fear, but for purpose, that your next chapter requires you to wake up, to pay attention, to prepare, to protect your peace, to distance yourself from what drags you backward, to surround yourself with love, not chaos, to trust yourself like you used to before the world dimmed your spirit. You are not running out of time. You are stepping into the right time. And this message is part of that alignment. Everything you've struggled with, everything you've questioned, everything you've lost, none of it was pointless. You are being shaped, not punished. Redirected, not abandoned. Strengthened, not broken. And your family needs to hear this because someone else among them is being shaped too, but they don't understand it. They think they're being punished. They think life is unfair. They think God is distant. They need the reminder you just received, that their story is not ending, it's evolving. That their pain is not a dead end, it's a doorway. That their weakness is not failure. It's transformation. And they won't know unless someone tells them. Unless you tell them. Before midnight, not because the time is magical, but because commitment matters. Because intention matters. Because love shared at the right moment can rewrite someone's destiny. You don't have to give a speech. You don't need the perfect words. You just need to share this message exactly as it is, because it carries the weight your heart has been trying to express but could never put into sentences. A new season is coming. A healing you didn't expect. A breakthrough you thought you'd never see. A restoration you stopped praying for because you assumed it was impossible. Nothing is impossible. Not for the one who created you, not for the one who has already carried you through the worst days of your life. And he is whispering again, wake up. Share this. Strengthen your family. Prepare your spirit. Your story is about to shift. And deep down, you know it's true. There is a moment in every life when you realize that the things you thought were coincidences were actually confirmations. The dreams you brushed off were warnings. The sudden heaviness in your spirit was protection. The strange urge to distance yourself from certain people was guidance. You weren't imagining it. You weren't paranoid. You were being prepared. And the more you grow, the more you begin to notice that God speaks in ways the world overlooks. A delayed plan isn't rejection, it's divine timing. An unexpected ending isn't failure, it's redirection. A heartbreak isn't punishment, it's removal of what would have broken you even deeper later. You are being shaped, led, lifted, refined, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. You have been fighting battles that were never meant to destroy you, they were meant to reveal you. Reveal your resilience. Reveal your purpose. Reveal your strength. Reveal your gift. Reveal the parts of you that only pressure could uncover. Diamonds are not formed in comfort. Warriors are not shaped in safety. Leaders are not grown in silence. And you, even if you don't see it yet, are becoming someone the future needs. Someone your family needs. Someone generations after you will thank. Because when you heal, you break the cycle. When you rise, you show others they can rise too. When you choose hope, you give someone else permission to believe again. This is why your spirit feels so restless. Why the things that used to satisfy you now feel too small. Why the places you used to fit now feel uncomfortable. You're outgrowing who you used to be. And growth hurts before it frees you. Transformation feels like breaking until you realize it was becoming all along. Nothing around you is random right now, nothing. The people leaving your life, the opportunities slowing down, the peace you crave, the sudden clarity about who you are, these are signs. Signals. Alignments. Proof that God is repositioning you, and your family, the ones who may look strong but feel weak inside, the ones who smile but are tired in ways they can't explain, the ones who carry burdens they've never spoken aloud, they need this reminder just as much as you do. Someone in your home has been praying silently, thinking their voice didn't reach heaven. Someone feels like they are losing control. Someone feels unseen. Someone feels like they're one mistake away from giving up. And you sharing this may be the one moment that snaps them out of that darkness. Sometimes people don't need a solution, they need a spark. A spark of hope. A spark of truth. A spark that says, "You're not done. You're still needed. You're still chosen. You're still protected. There's a reason God is telling you to share this before midnight. Midnight is a symbol. It represents transition. It represents the space between endings and beginnings. It represents the moment when the old day ends and the new day is born. What you choose to do before midnight reflects what you are ready to step into tomorrow. When you share hope, you create hope. When you speak life, you invite life. When you send light, light multiplies. And someone connected to you needs that light now more than ever. You may not always feel like the strong one, but you have survived enough to teach others how to survive. You may not always feel wise, but you have learned enough to guide someone who is lost. You may not always feel confident, but you have walked through enough storms to tell someone else that storms end. Your experiences are not wasted, they are assignments. The pain you endured wasn't meaningless, it trained you. The tears you shed weren't forgotten, they watered your becoming. The nights you spent worrying weren't unnoticed, God saw them all, and He's turning those nights into testimonies. Maybe you've been doubting yourself lately, doubting whether you're on the right path, whether you're doing enough, whether you're making the right choices. But here is the truth: if you were as lost as you think you are, you wouldn't feel this spiritual tug. Lost people don't feel called. Lost people don't feel awakened. Lost people don't feel pulled toward purpose. You feel it because you're not lost, you're aligning. You're evolving. You're awakening. And the stronger the calling, the louder the disruption. Life shakes you when it's about to shape you, that pressure you feel. It's preparation. That heaviness? It's transformation. That confusion? It's growth. You are stepping into a version of yourself that will make sense of every single challenge you faced. The moments when you wanted to give up will become the stories that inspire someone else not to. The seasons that felt like breaking will become the evidence of how unbreakable you really were, and for your family, the ones connected to your blood. Your heart, your history, they are part of your purpose. Not all of them will understand your journey, but some of them desperately need your courage. They need your example. They need your faith. Not all of them will say it, but someone is waiting for you to be the one who says, "We're going to make it." Someone is waiting for you to send the message that reminds them that God hasn't forgotten them, that life hasn't ended for them, that better days are coming. Someone is waiting for you to be the voice they wish they had the strength to speak with, so breathe deeply right now and realize that you are part of something bigger than your struggle. You are part of someone's breakthrough. You are part of someone's answered prayer. You are part of someone's healing. You are not just living your story, you are influencing theirs. And when God nudges you, it's because someone else's blessing is connected to your obedience. Keep reading. Keep absorbing. Keep listening to the quiet voice inside you that says you were meant for more than what you've settled for. You were meant for more peace, more joy, more purpose, more love, more clarity. And it's coming. Not by chance. Not by luck. But by divine alignment. You're not late. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be for what's coming next. There comes a time when you stop running from yourself and finally face the truth you've carried for years. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to blend in, shrink yourself, or pretend you were less than what you truly are. You were born with a weight on your spirit because you were meant to carry things others could not. You were born with a fire inside you because you were meant to outlast storms others thought would drown you. You were born with sensitivity, intuition, depth, and the ability to feel beyond the surface because you were meant to see through what blinds most people. And all the times you asked, "Why me? Why this? Why now?" The answer was always the same, because you're strong enough to handle it, wise enough to learn from it, and brave enough to rise above it, everything you've experienced, every heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment, and loss, was part of the shaping. Life did not break you, it refined you. It carved away the parts of you that were rooted in fear and made space for strength you didn't know you had. And though it hurt, though it felt unfair, though it felt heavy, you made it through. You're still here. And being here means something. Surviving means something. Waking up each day even when you didn't feel like it means something. You didn't come this far to collapse now. You didn't fight this hard to retreat now. You didn't survive all those seasons just to live small in the one where you're meant to rise. And even if your family doesn't say it, even if they don't show it, even if they seem distant or hard to reach, they need your strength. They need your voice. They need your reminder that darkness doesn't last forever and that even the longest night must end. Sometimes you are the only light someone sees. Sometimes you are the only hope someone feels. Sometimes your courage becomes someone else's rescue. You may not realize it, but your presence has been healing people quietly for years. Your love has been holding others together long before anyone recognized it. And your spirit has been carrying weight that would have crushed a weaker soul. Share this message with them because someone among them is standing on the edge of a decision. Someone is fighting a battle that has drained their energy and their faith. Someone is hiding tears behind a smile. Someone is waiting for a sign that life hasn't given up on them. And this message might be that sign. Before midnight, not because something terrible will happen, but because someone needs this now, not tomorrow, not eventually, but now. When people are hurting, timing matters. When souls feel lost, one message, one moment of truth, one reminder can lift them back to their feet, tell them that nothing they're going through is final. Tell them that storms run out of rain. Tell them that seasons change. Tell them that healing is coming in ways they never expected. Tell them that they are not forgotten, not abandoned, not invisible. Tell them that even when life feels silent, God is still working in the background, rearranging things for their good. Tell them that every closed door was a shield, every delay was protection, every detour was direction. Tell them that what they think is ending is actually beginning. Tell them that they matter, that they're loved, that their story still has chapters unwritten, and while you share it with them, remember this for yourself: you are stepping into a season that will make sense of every unanswered question you carried in the dark. You are walking into blessings you didn't see coming, opportunities you didn't ask for, and peace you didn't know existed. You are not entering a season of survival, you're entering a season of arrival. Arrival into clarity. Arrival into purpose. Arrival into healing. Arrival into strength. The same strength you've given away for years is returning to you multiplied. The same love you poured into others is circling back to your life in ways you don't expect. The same effort you put into keeping everyone else together is coming back to restore you. Your story is far from over. In fact, the most powerful part is just beginning. You are becoming the version of yourself you once prayed to be. You are growing into the person you used to think only existed in your dreams. And the world around you is shifting to match the greatness rising inside you. You may not see it clearly yet, but deep down something inside you knows this: you're not the same person you were at the start of this year, this month, or even this week. You've changed. You've evolved. You've awakened. And this awakening is not temporary, it is transformational. So as this message comes to an end, let this truth settle deep in your spirit: you are chosen. You are protected. You are guided. You are stronger than your fears, bigger than your past, and more worthy than your doubts allow you to believe. The days ahead are not meant to break you, they are meant to reveal you. And you sharing this before midnight is not a warning, it is a blessing. A blessing for you. A blessing for your family. A blessing for anyone who reads these words and feels something shift inside them. This is your moment. This is your reminder. This is your sign. Share it. And walk into the next chapter knowing this: your life is about to rise in ways that will make every struggle worth it. The night is ending. The light is coming. And you, yes, you, are ready.